Hello.
Hey, Prof.
Check 1, 2.
Hey, can you hear me good?
Oh, hi. I hear you,
Hey,
Christina.
hey,
Oh, hey, Christina.
how's it going?
All right. Hey, everybody say hello to Christina then.
Hey, guys. Hey, everybody.
All right. Hi, how you doing, Christina?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry it took me a little bit to figure out how to get on to use this, but I figured it out. So I finally get to come on here and say hi.
Awesome. Everyone's glad to hear you. I'm sure.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah. I see everyone's saying hello. Skip's here. Skip says hello. Hi, Skip.
Hey, I wasn't looking at any of the comments for right now, so, but hi, everybody. Tonight's live's been really good. I'm really glad to hear a lot of the things that you've had to say.
Oh, thank you. What do you want to talk about? I'd
I
like
don't know.
to
Any,
introduce yourself to the community.
um, well, I don't know. We could talk about. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a little more shy, but I do have a lot to say, but I don't know when.
Good. Well, I'm glad you came on because everyone can get to hear you. This is what I mean by I guess we want to be able to talk and have more people feel free to talk.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool to at least hear a little bit from some of the other people. I know there's a lot of people that we have relationships with on here, but yeah. So I figured that's why I figured I'd call in and say hi because I I think I've talked to you guys for a long time, and there's a lot to be said, but yeah, I think it was a great idea to get everybody together to have a call in. Maybe some other people will call in too. So,
Maybe
but
so. You guys get ready. Come call in.
yeah,
Hmm. Critter Mama asks a question. I don't know if it makes sense to you, but it says, "What do you theorize your thoughts on this misinformation?" So maybe in general,
what do I
what
what do
are
I
your
think?
thoughts on misinformation in Delphi?
Well, I agree with exactly what you say. I believe it's some sort of PR campaign narrative spin thing. It's something um, very coordinated.
I think so too. Hey, Critter Mama says, "I'll call in if you won't see my hair." Well, just don't turn the camera on.
Don't turn the camera on.
Yeah, I'm not making anyone turn the camera on. It's hard enough just to get brave enough to talk.
Yeah, there's no, there's a lot that's going on that I don't even really know what I'm at liberty to say right now either. But I mean, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that a lot of people haven't picked up on yet. And I think you're right when you say that a lot of people they love the people that they follow, and they don't want to believe that they could be involved in this whole misinformation stuff. It is a lot of the most popular people.
Yeah, I mean, if I think back, you know, I don't know if you know Greeno, but if I think back way in time, you got like
Mhm.
somebody like Greeno, like people get this affection for people that they know. It's like a personality thing. People get to know a personality, and then it's kind of like they give them a lot of latitude, and it becomes more of a personality thing than a fruits of their labor thing. And for me, that's been a big problem because, say when I came in, I was immediately surrounded by the trolls, but I didn't realize it at the time because I came in and I said, "Oh, well, that person's nice. That person's nice. That person nice." But it's because they're being nice to you at the moment. They're coming towards you with niceties, or love bombing or praise or helping, quote unquote. Let me mod for you, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed also. It's kind of this swarming thing around specific creators. Oh, where'd you go, Prof? Hey guys, I guess I'm running the show tonight.
Whoops,
There you
I
are.
dropped out.
It's okay. It's okay. I
Thank
was
you.
holding it down for you. No, I was just saying, like what I've noticed is they swarm a creator. They show them a lot of love. I mean, which everybody wants that. And
Especially when you're new. Yeah, you're new, you need people.
exactly. And then there's a lot of people that, are in the chat that attack anybody that really says anything that a few people will disagree with. And then with the whole group think mentality, you end up with people that are afraid to speak out because they don't want to have what's happened to you happen to them. And what people need to understand is the people that are doing a lot of this are not homegrown people like me and you and many of the people in the chat. They're people that are a part of, I guess, what is it, like a PR campaign type thing? I don't exactly know even what you would call it, really. I just know it's coordinated.
I've seen a lot of coordination,
Hmm.
both sides too.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, and then there's a ton of things that I wish, well, that I would love to say, but I don't really know exactly what to speak about yet, or when is a good time to talk about any of that kind of stuff, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
I've just noticed a lot of things that are concerning, and people should pay attention. Pay attention to people's actions. Pay attention to the people that have been honest, the people that have dirty deleted, the people that have backtracked, that have came back out with different, well, they've stretched the truth, or they've things like that. And then you look at the people who haven't. And I mean, I've always enjoyed coming to your lives. I haven't found anything that you have been dishonest about or that you have lied about, but I have seen a lot of lies from a lot of other creators who have then changed the story, or they've, uh, with pushback, they've admitted involvement in this or that. And I just really hope that people are paying attention to things like that. I don't think anybody's bad. I'm not saying anything like that. I just think that some people are a little more trustworthy than others.
Yeah. And it's like a whole spectrum too, because you got some people straight up mm, fabricating evidence, like, you know
Yes.
what I mean? So some people are using AI to
Hmm.
straight up fabricate evidence.
Yeah.
But then it's a whole spectrum in all ways too, because then you have other people who are just interjecting or inserting disinformation that's subtle,
Hmm.
or taking things and twisting them. I've always been about like we can't do this. This is it's hard enough, it's difficult enough already. Like we have to be straight up no matter what it means, and that's been a problem.
Well, I think that's what I've noticed is that things the history has been rewritten basically. So the things that happened from March 14th until now, it's been completely rewritten. So the way that you were portrayed to the public was that you were mean or angry or that you were attacking people. And I think a lot of people have forgotten or they haven't went back and listened to those lives, and you weren't. That's not the way that you conducted your lives. You were, I mean, from what I went back and looked at all of these lives. I You were not yelling, you were not angry, you were asking for there to be transparency. You were asking for whoever's behind like this website, own up to it. But it's all been changed and manipulated, and a lot of people have taken that as a fact. And it has really made you look bad to people because of all of the manipulation since then. And I think if people went back and watched those lives, they would recognize that your goal, from what I understood, was for there to be transparency because there has been none in this case.
Yeah.
And yeah, there hasn't. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying at the start of the show that when this all, if we're going to look at the past 6 months,
Hmm.
the intention was not to destroy or harass anybody. The intention was to demand some sort of transparency and honesty because we're dealing in the murder of two little girls, you know?
Yeah.
But that kind of smearing is very, very effective. It reminds me of Adrian, who
Hmm.
I don't know if you know her, but so going back further like a year, there were people on the other side who were running all around, and it was a lot in the comment sections and the chats, and they were saying all these untrue things about me to smear me. So they're saying, oh, prof this and prof that and prof this and prof that. And Adrian absolutely hated me. She absolutely hated me. And for no reason, because she was influenced by what she was hearing because it was coming from more than one. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
eventually, I guess she got brave. She'd have to tell that story herself, and I think she has before. But she's like, "Yeah, prof, and da 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 da," and eventually she realized, "Oh, none of that's true."
Hmm.
And then it's like I don't just support Adrian now just to do so. It's just that we always agree on a lot of the things we're seeing, and I appreciate that. And I think she realized that when she told me. I was like, oh, I had no idea. But she told me how effective all of that was. She was like, yeah, because it was several of them going through all the chats repeatedly over and over again, like it sounded believable until until she realized who was actually, because she was getting like some very horrible harassment.
Hmm.
And so, because of all that, she assumed it was coming from me until she realized literally where it was coming from. And she's like, "Oh,"
Right.
and that's what I'm saying about how effective this all has been because it's been multi-tiered. It's like there's so many layers of it, from the what seemingly harmless smearing to the outright like negativity in responding. Like regarding the situation you're talking about, I
Hmm.
I just did not like this bridge guy video because when it came out, my eyes said, that doesn't look right. It looks faked. Like the colors, I've had iPhones ever since the beginning. I remember
Yep.
since iPhone fucking, I don't know, 2010 or 2012.
Hmm.
I remember I seeing it, my first eyes laid eyes on it. I thought, those colors don't look right. The colors just do not look right. And when it so when I saw that, I saw everyone else saying the same thing. And it started this question, this nagging question in the back of my head, like, why does this not look right? This must be an enhanced video,
Hmm.
enhanced version. And then the way that the people behind releasing it were so adamant that it and doubling down on, no, it's not. It's legit. It's unenhanced. It's real. And that was just it was too confusing. And then the more
Yep.
questions about it, the more vitriol in response. And as you witnessed yourself, like, it just got completely out of hand because I couldn't understand the amount of vitriol over such a simple question. Like, what is this? Where did it come from? Prove it. Show it.
Yeah, that was the thing that a lot of people, I believe, have forgotten, is that that was all that was said those first few days, especially, that this looks faked. Where did this come from? All of those questions non-stop. And whenever, there was weird stuff going on where people are making posts about, uh, well, I don't know who updated the website, all the, and then, oh, the website's been updated. You know, it's it's weird how people, a lot of people haven't paid attention. It's very weird how there was only a handful of people who were confident where, or I guess trusted this, that this came from, the website. And then were kind of like on top of, they were looking up on these updates. Uh, but then there's the mockery on, what was it, on Twitter. It's mocking the things that they were doing behind the scenes in people's faces. There's, what was it? I don't remember, something about who are these amateurs that that's mocking people, like their viewers, the people that trust them. They're mocking them out in the open. And then whenever you call it out, I had my doubts. I was thinking, like, what the hell is Prof saying? Because I just had no idea about the things that were going on. And then once I,
Oh, I understand. It's difficult because it's so difficult to see, like, or
mhm,
to, you
right,
never expect it. Is like, I told someone earlier, I didn't expect any of this one. I would not have done this.
yeah. Well, I think most people like me who have no idea about a lot of the things that are going on, like the whole Twitter aspect. I never knew really the levels that, I guess, that they or different people are really busy on Twitter. And um, so there's a whole nother world that a lot of viewers are not aware of that happens on different platforms. It's almost like different planets is the way I described it. It's like different planets. There's one way that people portray themselves on YouTube, and another on Reddit, another on uh, Twitter, wherever, and they're very different, the way that I've seen different people act. And so I don't think a lot of people are aware how, just the attacks and the the things that are going on other places outside of YouTube. I wasn't aware of that. And I started, after the stuff came out about the video and then the stuff coming out about the contract, that is about the time that I started digging. And that's whenever things just, I mean, I've said before, my mind is blown. I've been shocked. Like I said, I kind of wondered what you were thinking calling out, you know, specific people because I hadn't seen anything before. But it was not long after that that things became more and more clear. And I'm not trying to be cryptic either. I just don't really know. I don't really know how much I want to share yet, but I mean, I am working on some stuff too. Just some stuff that I've found. So, but yeah, it's. I hope that people pay attention to the people who have been honest and the people who have been telling lies. People that have been, you know, caught in a lie or backtrack. Pay attention to these people's language, to the words that they use. There's tons of it if they pay attention. A lot of it is in old lies. What was it? Oh God, I wish that I had like the video to a couple of videos to share of the language that these people are using, or at least they did in the past for sure. Back in whenever all this was going down. Do you remember?
Mm.
What was it? I don't know if I can close this to search, but there's specific language that everyday people do not use that these
Oh,
people are
wow.
using.
Yeah, I mean, I find like this, it's like this, there's this professional sheen
Hmm.
to some that where there shouldn't be, if you're dealing with real people.
Exactly.
Um, but like I
Exactly.
was saying, that the hard thing is you never expect this when you come in, because I know when I came in, I'm like, oh, this is just a case. It's just a normal case.
Hmm.
But now my brain is like, oh, this is a case that has narrative control being exercised throughout social media by multiple actors.
Hmm. Well, that's like I've said since very early on. The very first person that people can uh, pinpoint to, well, what is kind of referred to as controlled opposition, is Doug Carter and the language that he uses.
Hmm.
It is uh, it's textbook controlled opposition.
He's the biggest troll of all. Yes. No,
Yes,
really.
right.
The gaslighting's unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If I could pull it, I don't know if I can close, or I don't know if I can minimize this and go look, because the things that it says, like you can check off every box for what Doug Carter does, and then you see that all throughout this case. You hear people talking about where they say they needed to get a communications plan. That's why this website was created, and
Oh
it
yeah,
was.
like a professional PR language type of thing. Yeah.
Yes, like me and you don't use that kind of language. I would never say anything about a communication plan, ever. The only people who use that kind of language are people who do that. What else was said? Uh, he, let's see. There was in another live where was talking about creating the website, which was, I think that was one of the few truths that was told, which it was created the day that Rick Allen was sent. No, the date that they got the verdict in on November 11th. I believe that was the 11th. All of a sudden, you have a website going up. It goes live that day. Who does that? And we heard, oh, nobody would have time. This was this morbid task. Okay, that's over dramatizing the task. It's crazy. And then that means this was set up in advance. And then you hear the same people talking about how they got in contact with Kara. It's like, what? and they're making this website. So they needed to get a communications plan. that is not normal people talk. All of these people have given people many, many clues they have not paid attention to.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier at the beginning. How people did this
Hmm.
and they did this
Right.
because you don't want to see. You want to stay in your safe little bubble, I guess. The status quo, the way things were, but
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. I'm just really like this. So my concept is the world has been waiting for this video from Liberty's phone,
Hmm.
okay, regarding this situation. They knew that that would have to be provided. Like everyone knows that that was going to have to be given up at some point.
Right.
So it was delivered, but to deliver it through a third party on an anonymous website
Hmm. Through YouTubers, through
through YouTubers when
attorneys, yeah.
it looks problematic, and then for the court to deliver almost all exhibits from the court
Hmm.
except for any exhibit having anything to do with this video,
Right.
like does no one else see the problem with that?
Well, and that's like what a lot of people are not, they're overlooking with the way that things come out. If you look up uh, how a PR campaign type thing or a narrative, whatever you want to call it, if you look at these things up, one of the things that is in the list of things is strategically releasing evidence,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
things like, or exhibits in this case, strategically having things come out. And if you look at the way that these things came out, they all come out around something, some key date or some kind of key important whatever for Rick Allen. Nearly every single one of them. The video, what was it? Was that? I have to look back at my calendar. The day that the video was released, what was? Wasn't that the day that Rick Allen's?
Oh, the day that the appeal was filed on my case,
Yeah, it was.
because it actually happened a day before, but it
Mhm.
didn't post to my case for 24 hours or so, or whatever,
Yeah.
18
So,
hours.
I forget what was, without looking at my the paperwork and stuff. I think it was where the attorneys filed the notice of appeal or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Which
Okay.
happened on the 11th, but didn't
Mhm.
post until the 12th, and then boom, like clockwork, video drops.
Yeah, exactly. And then every other, um, every other leak was within a day or so of something else important going on in Rick's case. Okay. This, who would do that? Why? And just like the video being released on March 12th, and then the jokes and the mockery about the 213, which February 13th, 312 reverse, but then you hear,
213, right? Exactly.
right,
Yeah.
you hear the joking and the mockery about it, but that's not an accident, and then you hear, like I said, it's people, it's not just conspiracy stuff, it's actually happening. There's a lot of other things that are happening on dates, like similar, with that. And it's, to me, um, that's like signaling. It's, or pattern planting, something along those lines. And a lot of people think it's crazy, conspiracy, but it's happening in this case, and it's not accidental.
No, it's happened too many times, and that this is what I mean
Right.
about the patterns of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just I would like people to look at the anomalies in people's behavior and actions and all this stuff. And like when things happen, look, like right now, they're marching out. So all over the community right now, from both sides, they're marching people out from out of the woodwork
Hmm.
to lay down certain narratives right now. And you
Hmm.
got to wonder, like, okay, September, why in the hell in the first 2 weeks of September are you marching these people out to talk about the leaks and about Daniel Pearson and Shelby Hicks? Like,
Right.
that's been ongoing for years. We've been talking about the leaks and Shelby Hicks for years, but now you're marching people out to lay down this certain angle on those things. Why now? You
Well,
know?
that's what I noticed. That's what that's one of the things that um, was very obvious to me, and hopefully it become if it wasn't obvious for people, hopefully it becomes obvious for them. That's where it became blatantly clear the narrative steering whenever in another YouTube live where you have I know Skip was on on a live, and they're trying to have a conversation, and you got attorneys calling in, and then when they're talking about law enforcement and the shitty job that was done in this case and the inexcusable things that have happened, and then they're told there's nothing you can do about it. That is narrative steering. That's exactly what it is, because they're it does not look good for Indiana, and it also is not good. Well, it's actually good for Rick. It's not good for Indiana, for there to be a community of people to come together for Rick and to be speaking out publicly as one group, basically shouting to the rooftops about the madness that went on in Indiana with Rick Allen. They know it's bad when you have a pretrial detainee that you have in a supermax prison, and you're walking him around on a leash. You have 8 to 10 guards to bring him to a hearing, like what Hannibal Lecter. They
Yeah,
don't
that's
want the
PR. I mean, that is
right,
PR.
right,
That's prosecutorial perception
mhm,
control.
right. That's what I noticed that live, with the next live. After that, that's where it really jumped out to me, was where same thing. People are wanting to come out and talk about this stuff with the Daniel Pearson and how things that Shelby said, and just making a big deal out of whether or not Shelby told the truth. Who cares? The facts are the facts. Like, we either have whatever was said in trial, which the transcripts from the trial say 230 out of Shelby's own mouth. So I'm not exactly sure why it's being pushed, or why that's out there, uh, arguing about the time difference, and then that's also put in stuff online on what is it on the GitHub. It's on there, like the things that this person on YouTube is telling them, as if it's a I'll take that back. It's not really on there as a fact, but it's listed with factual things about the timeline.
There's a whole lot of that. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
There's a whole lot of that. It almost seems as though every time there's something important,
Hmm.
there comes the disinfo or
It
the
is.
confusion.
It is. If I could find my notebook, I have so much stuff. I just don't. I don't know if this. I don't know if I can like. I don't know if I can like get out of my little the app for this to look for some stuff. And I have a notebook also, but yeah, there's tons of stuff. And I mean, I can't remember it right off the top of my head, but I could if I find my notebook. But yeah, that's I don't. I mean, I don't have. I think it's great to hear other creators. I actually really like. I mean, I have a whole ton of creators and channels that I enjoy watching or listening to, and I enjoy hearing other people who have knowledge about the case, or who are friends with whoever, or know other people. But I have a problem whenever it's being amplified, I guess, like through so many different ways, like, through lives, which I enjoy. I think it's great. Like, I enjoy hearing it. But then whenever you start to see that it's not just hearing somebody's story, it's now being pushed, it's that's concerning to me. I can't. I don't know if I can. I don't know how to see if I can read the chat. I'm not really sure. I'll probably wait.
I'm trying.
I
I'm trying to put some up here.
don't
There's
know
a
if
way
anybody's
on
saying it.
StreamYard. It's
Yeah.
something you go to, but
Hmm.
I'm not I'm not familiar enough being doing it myself to have much memory. But I know there's a way to see it, but it's not. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, that's okay. It's no big deal. That's not a problem. I want to. I wish I could find my notes, because
Um,
I'm terrible at remembering things off the top of my head. But it's like I have so much stuff in my head. It's like I can't.
well, it's kind of why I've like a lot of people whine to me about like Prof, why don't you cover the case anymore? And I say, I have. Go back to the hundreds of hours of covering all those details. Been there, done that. I think the most important story right now is what's right in front of our faces that people have a hard time seeing.
Right.
Like why are people doing this? Why is there this stranglehold on narrative points, and why do people freak the fuck out and go crazy if you just get anywhere close to something important?
Yeah, that's one of the things that another thing that I hope that people pay attention to is where you are shunned from a group if you do not like the same people, if you don't have these exact same values. It does not, things do not have to be that way. That is not even, I mean, imagine if our nation were built on those kind of uh, principles. It's not. We have freedom of speech, like, and all of those things are what make America. It's kind of cliche, but it really is. It's what makes America so much better than other places. Okay, but then you have people who insist on you hating other people. And then, like in this community, that's how it is. You are mocked, and you are, um, like, same things happen to me, literally just because I watch your channel. Attacked. I was called a Nazi. I was told, I'm not to believe anything I say because I'm a prof chatter. And I've never been ugly or said anything out of the way to anybody ever. Like, I want to hear what other creators have to say. I enjoy it. Whether or not I agree with all of it, it's irrelevant. I don't go causing trouble, but that's where the group think comes in, where you have a couple of these people who attack somebody who says anything, as to get you out of their chat. And then and then other people, it's almost like, if you don't do that, you don't fit in, and you're the next one to do it, and nobody wants to be done that way. And it's not okay. It's not acceptable.
It's brutal. Yeah, I mean, I did a bunch of talking before all of this chaos about how there's a culture of fear
Mhm.
that's been uh, cultivated in this community. Like all of this shit from all sides has literally created a culture of fear. That's why I can't get anyone up on here. Thankfully, I'm glad that you did. But every time I do this, one of these where I put the link up, it's a very, very difficult to get anyone from the chat to join because there's this culture
Right.
of fear.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's understandable because there's a reason for the culture of fear. It's all of the harassment, doxing, deaths,
Mhm.
and threats. It's just all brutal. It's brutality. And people don't seem to remember, like, hey, we're discussing two little dead girls. Like,
Right.
is that the way we're going to do this? But it seems to not be about that. It seems to be about, like you say, groupthink,
Mhm.
uh, gang stalking tactics or whatever, smearing, threats.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, just recently, I, for the first time ever, I was lied. Lies were told about me, that I said another creator was stupid, and then it was also said that I said that their viewers or their followers, their chatters, were stupid. And if anybody knows me in any chat or any comment section, I've literally never said anything like that. I've never called anyone. I don't. But that's the way that the mob mentality works. You have one or two people and that's the thing. They'll literally say lies, and anybody can go through any chat, anything. I've never deleted anything. I've never called a creator stupid. There's one or two people who I've put in comments that I dislike, and I have no shame in, uh, you know, giving my opinion on that. But that's it, and it's not a creator. It's people that I think are steering the narrative in this case. But I've never called any. I don't call anybody names, and like that kind of stuff.
chaos agents,
Yes.
creators of chaos for chaos's sake, or distraction,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's like, what did that? I mean, why would that even be necessary? Who cares if I watch your channels? Like, since when did people become ostracized if they watch another YouTube channel? Like, I don't go to anybody else's channel and cause problems. I actually really enjoy a lot of these other channels because I really want them getting the word out about Delphi. But the thing is, it's not some of the people are not getting the word out. They're creating chaos, and a lot of people aren't seeing that. And a lot of the time, a lot of the things that I've noticed, just like you had mentioned, the whole Daniel Pearson thing with the timeline. Like, I was
Mhm.
really glad to see Amy do the timeline the other day, because you don't hear about it enough. And then I've noticed that was whenever things went really, I don't know, they just seemed to be really people. I think it was, I mean, I think it was pretty obvious how the people were doing in that one, trying to steer the narrative. That was everything came out around then. These are the things that I'm concerned about, because these are, I mean, okay, if her friend told her something, that's that's great. But I don't understand why there's just been. I don't really know. I don't have anything negative to say about anyone. My I hope that people pay attention to the people, pay attention to their behaviors, pay attention to the people who have lied to you, who have been misleading. Who and there's a lot of other stuff that's been going on that a lot of people don't know about. Um,
Mhm.
it's I what was it? I can't remember. Like, I told you, I told you like a while back, like, um, what was it? Whenever in one of the lives, All Eyes was explaining all of this stuff about how, what are they called? Gray key. Was that what it's called? Gray.
Oh, the softwares
Yes.
for phone stuff,
I can't remember whatever that other one was called. Was it called Autopsy?
autopsy.
Is that what it's
Hmm.
called? I can't remember.
I think
Auto,
so.
but she was like going into detail of explaining this stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, Then somebody asked her, "Was she a Fed?" And that just blew my mind because she breezed past that. And I thought, I mean, if I said that to you, I feel like you wouldn't blaze past it. It'd probably kind of be silly. It wasn't. I don't know that she's a Fed. I'm not saying that. It's just that seemed weird. The knowledge that she had on that stuff seems she seems very knowledgeable. I don't think that's stuff that the average person would know. Um, there's a
Well,
lot
I
of
mean, that whole what do you call it? GitHub is
hmm
not something the average person would be able to do. Like,
yeah,
does no one realize that?
hmm yeah. That's actually It's if you think about the amount of time that it takes to do a website, and I think she's still having problems with her eye. So you're talking eye strain for I guess one eye. Then you're talking there. I believe she said she's got a couple of kids, married, so you got a husband, and then if you the amount of time that it would take to do these things, if people really think about it, you're talking. And I think when was this? This has been I can't remember exactly how long it's been since it was put up, but this is from somebody who. And I'm not trying to you know talk ugly. I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is I'm trying to put this together in my head. When you have somebody who can't figure out live streams, not even a year ago, is about that long, maybe a year ago, to putting together a whole damn website. Okay. You're also talking about having to get court documents, and that's either what you're having to do an open records request or getting them from somewhere. If you're getting,
uh, Transcribing them, hyperlinking
hmm
them,
yep, doing
doing the
linking.
entire trial, and da 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 da.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're talking, these things take hours, hours out of the day. Not to mention a family, and I mean, maybe she's great at multitasking. I don't really know. Like, that's awesome. But the thing is, though, this is hundreds of hours. And I'm not just talking about like 100. I mean like 6 or 700 hours minimum of work. Well, probably what, maybe like 4 to 6 or 7. Like 100, okay? You really only have how many hours a day to do this?
I mean, your typical workday is 8 hours. Who has 8 hours to work on Delphi for free?
Yeah. I mean,
But and
exactly.
another thing I think about all the time are the habitual accounts that you see in
hmm
every single live stream,
Yeah,
every single channel, all over Reddit, all over Twitter, and you start to back off of it and look and you think, how in the world can some of these people literally be everywhere all the time?
exactly. Well, well, um, I don't know if I could send the on Twitter. Do you remember? Oh man, I don't know. If I could, I don't know if I can minimize this, but I could possibly send it to you. I don't know if you saw on Twitter what was posted by DB. I don't know if you have seen.
I don't know.
It's there there's a post on there about like somebody, who is that lady? She's a reporter. She's on Twitter
Mm,
too. It's the lady.
they
She
hate Coffindoffer, Jennifer
it's
Coffindoffer, or whatever her
it's
name.
no, it's a smaller one than that. I forget who it
No,
is. It was a lady that
mm,
was asking about a website, and it was like,
I don't know.
uh, somebody asked about a website, and how they should put somebody should put together a website, and then DB or somebody commented about that they do have a website. It's already been put together, and then there's been all these people putting countless hours into it. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
The screenshot. Well, I don't know screenshot. I mean the post on Twitter or whatever. Um, there's some, I don't remember who, I wish I could remember who the lady was so I could tell you what it. But anyway, there's a post on there where I don't really know why they kind of, to me it seemed like they were kind of being a little bit short with the lady, but and she was suggesting that a website be made. This was last
Oh, you're
this
talking about Rosie Palfy. I
that's
remember that. Yeah,
yeah. So
conversation.
you've
Yeah.
seen that one, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was her name, Rosie. I don't know
She
who
was
she.
nicely, so they did to her what they do to like Amy G. They just real aggressive response to an innocent question.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Right. It was something about like she was suggesting a website be made, and this was in maybe I want to say October of 2024, um, where she was suggesting a website be made. You know, a place to go get all of these documents for supporters, and like I guess DB had commented to her and was like, "Oh, you know, there is one that's already made," and da 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 da. But then she said she wasn't aware that there was a website or something like that. But then it was the comment after that that was very concerning to me, where he says there's 20 to 25 people working on this case or something during the trial or something, like every day to transcribe stuff. Like what 20 or 25 people are transcribing what after, you know, each day of the trial? Who Oh, I just saw that about the trolls have 30 or more. Oh,
Also true.
yeah.
No, hey, trial junkie and Christina. No, literally, if I would show you in the backstage of my YouTube StreamYard channel,
Hmm.
no, my YouTube studio channel, I have 450 accounts banned, troll accounts. Truly. Think of that, everyone. 450 accounts had to be banned. That's how many troll accounts have come across here
Wow. Well,
over two
yeah,
and a half years.
exactly. And you know, that's like if there's accounts, well, you know, that was also said. Um, now I don't know, you know, I don't know that I can confirm this necessarily, but I do know in the, what was it, those screenshots or whatever from that guy. Who is he? He was like a part of the three. The guy that he closed out the account. Um,
Oh,
with
Tobor
oh boy,
and
that's who I
the
was asking about.
Unraveling
Yeah,
channel. Hmm.
yeah. Like there was. Do you remember there was stuff like I don't know if anybody's ever listened to the Murder Sheet podcast too, that Tobor guy and the Murder Sheet had put out that there were screenshots that said that certain other YouTubers have or said that they've, I guess in this message, that they make fake accounts. And then we're also talking about how easy it is to make these and to make up like a new identity or something. I'll have to go back and listen to exactly what it was. But so that's not surprising. And if those messages
Yeah,
are
I'm
accurate.
pretty sure
Hmm.
some individuals will have like 15, 20 accounts.
Oh,
multiple devices at once. So when they come in, I've noticed before, there'll be individuals with multiple devices from multiple accounts, like a single account on each device, and they
hmm,
can come in and have a conversation with themselves, but it will look like two or three people. That's the whole
right.
astroturfing strategy that they use. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, literally, I think we're looking at an easy 50 individuals
Hmm.
with at least 100 or more accounts. And that's the funny thing, to block 450 and there's still new ones all the time, just continuously coming. And these are not, that's the thing, these are not people who are random YouTube viewers who just happen to come across and say something crazy in your chat.
Right.
These are long timer YouTube. These are people with personal ties. They come in with personal vendettas and personal narrative points to push, and personal, they come in distracting, and it's very interesting. I mean, I don't like it, but
Right.
it's to see the enormity of it. Over
Well,
what? Over
yeah.
what?
I think a lot of people would be surprised to know how connected these people are behind the scenes, and how connected they were before, they appear to be connected. Um, what was, what I find most concerning is that the well, I will tell people there are right now multiple websites that have been created in advance, which was also done with the GitHub. That's exactly what was done, so that I guess as a backup. But there are about what, three or four more backups, I know for a fact, websites. And also the GitHub, well, it was created 2 days after the other one, the Rick Allen Justice one. It was on November 11th. The GitHub other one, it was created on November 13th by DB. Um, and it was not we didn't hear about it for how long? Uh, the other one, whenever the other website went to shit, they moved away from that one, and then the new GitHub came out. Okay, I mean, I have my questions about DB. He's, I know there's the jokes about, he works at Chipotle. I get it, but he's way more advanced than anything that anybody realizes.
Well, there's
He,
a lot of computer programmers in this whole case, which I keep saying over and over. Like,
hmm.
people, there's just been too much.
Well, the with the things being said, like the All Eyes with her GitHub, like she's not doing that website, just so people know. So she is not. Okay, she's not. There's other DB's doing that website 100%, which, I mean, it was already said anyway that he was helping her or something, but he's doing it all. He's doing it all. Um,
Or a bunch. I don't know, maybe it's a large effort. It's a
it
large effort. And
Yeah.
and I've been well, I guess I'm kind of, I'll save that for later, but this is
The
I've been trying to understand the cuz you have so many accounts
Mhm.
that are completely anonymous that have inserted themselves to such a high degree, you know.
Yes. That
And it's like, the
it's
point is
allowed.
not doxing, but the
Mhm.
point is when you have done so much interfering and expect people to believe and trust, there comes a point where it's like, okay, this is enough. There's too, like, the whole I'm just an anonymous person on the internet. It stops working. Okay, it stops working because, like, okay, you haven't really dis what do you call it, doxed yourself or anything,
Oh
but
yeah.
you're clearly a person.
Mm-hmm.
I come out and show, I put myself in the harm's way. Okay, like I mentioned Adrian earlier, she came out, put herself in harm's way. uh, there are a whole bunch of people that do, but then you have just as many people who are completely anonymous
Mm-hmm.
and completely up to their eyebrows in this. And I don't know, it's highly questionable to it becomes highly questionable to me, you know.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. It's very interesting that there's people out there who are very, like you said, very in deep with this, that you you can't, I mean, not that somebody has to show their face or give out their information, but the thing is like it's it's just very weird to me. It's very weird to me that certain people, I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. They're like, I think you explained it best, but it's
Well, I mean, I feel like there are even people who do show their faces,
right.
but still you don't know anything about them and they've wiped their internet histories clean. Like the
Yeah, that's not.
number of people who you try to go and figure out who is this,
Mm-hmm.
completely wiped. I don't think people realize, like, they try to make it just like everything. If you bring up a point, they try to make it about another point. But for me, the point is, hold on. Fuck that you've been in Delphi for 5 years or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, you're an anonymous fucking account on the internet. You're
Right.
just an anonymous account on the internet, and you're absolutely knee deep in this case, interfering and colluding with people who you would assume do know who your identity, and it just becomes really sus.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there comes a time when you're just, you look at Andy Baldwin, he's Andrew Baldwin,
Yeah.
and you know something about him. You look at, like I don't know, you know anyone who's involved in this to a certain degree,
Yeah.
there's some credibility that goes with that. But
Mm-hmm.
if you look at any topic, what the fuck does an anonymous account, what kind of credibility does any anonymous account have to do with? Even if it's anonymous person that shows their face, but you still don't know who the fuck this is. They could be pretending to be, like, I don't know, Prime Minister of France or something. And it's like, well, I guess I'll take your word for it.
Right. And a lot of that, a lot of those, especially those particular people, have, for some reason, a lot of leeway in these live chats to bully, to instigate, and it's allowed. It's allowed, and nobody can ask questions. Um, because I mean, hell, that's even what happened to me recently. I'm just asking questions, about things that were said in a live chat. Um, and that kind of stuff is allowed. And then you were also threatened through me to you. And that's one of the things that I don't think a lot of people understand or have paid attention to is why the violence from certain people in this case. It's like I mean, I was shocked that that was allowed. I'm not saying anything about the YouTube creator or anything like, or the channel. What I mean is just the person in the chat. There was nothing said, and for no reason at all. It was a threat to you through me. I was told to tell you, that somebody wanted to fight you. Like, I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with me? And furthermore, why does somebody want to get physical? Why would somebody make a physical threat? This is a case about two kids who were literally
And there's
murdered.
been, yeah,
Hmm.
just the venom in this community, and that's what I mean about the culture of fear. Because, like, for us to receive death threats, I've got at least 15 direct death threats. I get shit to my house.
Hmm.
My relatives get contacted, and
Yeah.
Adrian's gotten shit to her house. Death threats, like you say, threats of physical violence. Just it goes on. The list is on and on and on. What's with the venom in this
Yeah.
community?
I've seen your family put on Twitter, and I don't understand why anybody's taking this real life, and why people in the community are not holding them accountable. And I don't mean going and scolding them. What I mean is, like, is to continue to support people who are doing this to other people, in a case of two kids whose necks were cut and they were left out in the woods. Okay, why is that acceptable in a case? Because there's a slight difference of opinion with someone else. It's like we all still have the same goal.
Slight, like for instance, we all agree that this was a miscarriage of justice. Okay.
100%.
Well, no, we're not talking about the troll farm. That's a whole other. That's the obvious haters and
Right.
opposition.
Yeah, I'm not
But
even
I'm saying,
familiar
okay,
with
for
them.
those of
Yeah.
us on this side, we all agree this is a miscarriage of justice.
Yes.
It's a wrongful conviction. Um,
Uh,
it should not stand.
rights were violated. Like,
So, and the judge and the prosecutor and all the colluding, and it was all just terrible. Why can't that be enough? You
that's the
know,
thing. It is for normal people. It is. It is normal. That's the thing. Whenever you have, multiple, like, these alt accounts that come out, it that I believe that's, if I remember correctly, that's what the astroturfing is. It's meant to make things look like it's homegrown, like it's regular people, like it's a bunch of
Mhm.
regular YouTubers that are coming together, but it's not. So it takes over YouTube chats or lives or Twitters or Reddits, and it appears, to the average person, that there's a lot of support for this one way,
Mhm.
and that's not normal. It's not. So the doxing, putting your family's pictures out, none of that matters. Like, I don't get it, and especially with the stuff going on lately, even with this whole stuff going on with the Charlie, that should be an eye opener to people. This is what happens whenever you have people who want to silence other people.
Mhm.
Like, we we all have more in common than we don't. And we definitely know that we all agree that so many things happened wrong in this case. Eh,
Everything, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's what just like I can't get is why would you ostracize people who are on your side? It's the same thing with the politics of saying I don't want any Trump supporters anywhere around here. Uh,
right, right.
I
Hasn't
wouldn't
that
say
been
it
said?
the other way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm doing this live tonight. It's like I think we need to talk more, and we need more people to come in, but not less.
Right. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they're questioning, why would people be doing this? What is going on? The thing is that people have to recognize this is a very coordinated uh, thing. I don't even really know what to call it. It's very coordinated, and the purpose is to create chaos. The reason is because if you have chaos amongst the supporters, you do not have a united front that can have a loud enough voice for change to happen. They do not want this to be some free care and read movement. And I know that people see that they're bringing in the free care and read people. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You
Mhm.
cannot get them people together whenever there is chaos amongst all the people. That's like gaslighting people basically by uh, just, wanting one thing when the goal is not really that. Because you cannot get people together. It doesn't matter how many people come in. You cannot get people together whenever there's chaos. And that's what's going on right now in this case.
Well, that's why, and yeah, that's what I started saying, like how
Mhm.
it's really, it's really, I hate to use the word sad, but unfortunate is a gentle version of it, maybe. It's
Right,
really unfortunate that people have sort of dropped off because what they interpret as drama
right,
came. But what they don't understand is that this what you're interpreting as drama is the result of a demand for truth. And because
mhm,
it's very important to have truth. Like I've repeatedly said, this case is difficult enough. Really is.
yeah,
There's so much to this. If you don't have truth and transparency and honesty and forthrightness, you can't come in complicating it. And it just seems like that's what's happened. And so
yeah,
I feel like if I look back, even at the past 6 months, but honestly, in the past 3 years, I haven't lied to the people. I never came and gave you disinformation intentionally. Uh, I don't understand. Like I thought, see, I knew at the time in March, I knew that there would be repercussions because I knew that people would not be able to understand. But I thought it was the best course because I thought no one else is going to do it. So I have to tell the truth about what this is so that everyone understands. Uh, I just didn't foresee, I guess, the way it would happen. But I mean, like I said, you can go and look back. I was I was right about everything.
mhm.
And the way you know that is that because of the demand for the truth, it eventually started to drip out,
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. And,
confirming what I was saying.
right. And, the whole, there's one particular deleted live that will never see the light of day again. If, unless it's at the hands of someone else. But that was very telling, and where you have the people behind this website at that time who, because of your, demands for the truth to come out about this stuff, that during that particular live where, Cat, it was it was, do you know the one I'm talking about? It was the one with where Kathy Allen was, they were
Oh yeah.
saying that
Hmm, hmm.
she needed to, like, I don't know, somebody else needed to be, I know there was a lot of
She
backlash to,
doesn't deserve to be making legal decisions for her husband live.
right, that she wasn't in like the right state of mind or some BS, like as his wife, whatever. That was deleted. But I mean, that should be a sign to people. That stuff was deleted because this is the mindset of these the people who are behind this. And during that live, it was the people were lied to right throughout that live. And then you have, I think it was Luke coming there, and he starts commenting or whatever, and then you have someone else say, "Oh, are we going to tell all the things?" And immediately the sentence before that was like, "I don't know why people can't just believe what we're saying," or something like that. And I'm not even kidding. I think it was the next sentence was, "Oh, are we just going to tell all the things?" And then all of a sudden, you hear why people don't believe the things that you're saying. And all of that's deleted. But
Yeah, and you know what's
that was
funny
said.
about that?
Uh-huh.
I told someone recently that Mr. Baldwin refuses to answer a single question about it. It's just like, why, man? Why? Like
Yeah.
this has been, I don't know. I don't even want to keep going this direction, but it's just that there's so many things along the course of this that could have put everything to rest.
Mhm.
And it seems like everyone important in the mix that could have put concerns to rest have failed to do so. But this
Well,
goes all the way back to
yeah.
like 3 years, because I mentioned just earlier that people are being marched out right now to do narrative spin on the
Mhm.
leaks.
Mhm.
Okay, so if we go all the way back to the leaks, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
There
the
are
same people
people who
peddling.
could tell the truth
Mhm.
to put the entire story straight, but every single one of them refuse to tell the truth to put
Yeah,
the questions to rest. But instead, they're going to march out someone who was intimately involved in all of it to come and spin.
right. And I think that's what a lot of, I think that's where, because my thoughts on that are a little bit different. I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying necessarily, but my thinking is this is where the PR spin stuff comes in, and this is where the things that are being said are meant to discredit the people who so far, I mean, in my opinion, Baldwin, all of them, so far they haven't really give me any reason to doubt them. I do have questions about some of their tactics that I would like answered also, but I think a lot of the questions about things come from the things that's been out there of people claiming that they were working with the defense. The way I look at it is nothing is a fact or can be taken as the truth unless we hear it from the source, which would be Baldwin, Rosie. And
Mhm.
I agree, they should or they could come out. But that's the thing. It's it could. I mean, it really could be their career on the line. Like
It could also hurt them. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah. And I think this is
Which
meant to
still
make it
leads back to the fact that these people have also created problems for Baldwin,
exactly. Yeah,
but
I think
also for Abby and Libby, and also for Richard Allen. And
right.
it's been just a non it's been a revolving door of complication, chaos, lies, and bullshit. And people don't want to see it. And I understand why, because you look at it like, oh, these are, like I said, it's easy to hate the trolls, the troll farm trolls for the prosecution, because they say all the things Murder Sheet says and all the things McClellan says. So it's easy to hate them, but it's hard to see what's happening on your side, because you want a big team. And
It's like a cognitive dissonance almost. It's almost
mhm,
like you can't believe it seems unbelievable, but it's true. You know, and I think that a lot of this is to because if people pay attention, you'll hear this also. Oh, I don't want to, I don't want to trash the defense. I don't want to throw no, no, no. That's what you're doing. That is subtly putting that thought in people's heads. So then what happens is it makes the defense look sloppy. It makes the defense look um like it makes it look like they could be in the league. That is not that's bad because normally we wouldn't even hear from an attorney, right? Like we don't you don't really ever hear from them. And we haven't heard from them any at all. So there's some reason, I don't know who was trying to blackmail Baldwin. I don't even know if that's legit. But that right there puts doubt in people's minds. And whenever you have doubts and people don't trust the defense, and then it makes them look like they could be in things, the only people who have lied to us consistently have been all these people on YouTube. As far as I'm concerned, it has not been Baldwin or Rosie. I do have questions, like you said, but the only people that have been consistently consistent, they have their behavior, their actions, the way they conduct themselves has been Baldwin and Rosie. Unlike all the other people that are
and
very well.
Jennifer O'Shea has been,
Oh, and Jennifer.
yeah, solid too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that group, this is what I've said, like, and I think people don't understand when we ask questions about the defense, we're not
Hmm.
attacking them.
Right.
I
Right.
just have the questions, because but it's like with everything with this case, there's so many questions. And
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
well, I guess what I'm thinking is that it just seems as if people stopped asking questions when it came down I mean, if I were really to reverse engineer it, I would say when it came down to Rick Allen, which means when Rick Allen came around
Mm-hmm.
and all the info, people stopped asking questions.
Right.
And I think it's turned a lot of the consumers into mindless eaters because they in their preoccupation with Rick Allen, they stopped looking at everything as objectively as they need to. Um,
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. Well, it's it also, if you have certain people out putting out a narrative, it gives credibility that isn't shouldn't be there. So then people blindly follow um, certain, people because of that credibility. So they're not questioning things. They're not wanting to, dig in. But that's what people need to be doing. People need to be turning over tables, you know, stamping the streets over the evidence lost, over the way that Rick Allen was treated, the way that this case was investigated. It Those are the things that need to be talked about, and they do not want people um, making a big deal about that because it makes them look horrible because it's terrible. And
yeah,
they go ahead. No,
that's a
I'm
good
not.
point. Is that the last thing on earth Doug Carter wants
Hmm.
is us discussing like tonight. Like
Right.
that's the last thing on earth they want. That's why they tried to shut all this down. You know.
He did. Remember, that's what he did from day one, and that's all that the public heard was give us time, and then he would, go through his, I don't know, his smoke signals, as whatever his hieroglyph. I don't know what all it was that he would get up there on the stand and do, or on the podium and do, but all of that mess. We've heard that for years. We heard give us time. We heard if you have a problem, if law enforcement take it out on me or to be upset with me,
Hmm.
they're just doing their job. No, no, no. That is classic controlled opposition. He is trying to soften the what? How do you word that? Like he's trying to soften the public's I don't know, outrage or whatever
Hmm.
on law enforcement. And then we've heard, wait, give us time. And then we heard that at the when Richard Allen before his trial. And then you have this whole different version of Doug Carter come out at what is it, the sentencing?
Boy, that's what still
Oh,
boggles the mind. The post sentencing press conference. He was just unhinged. I
he
couldn't.
was.
And I'm like, does no one see this?
Hmm.
Are there not federal agents who see that? It's, I mean, it's
Right.
so obvious.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And he hightailed it out of office the next month.
Perfect timing. I said
Yep.
that before. This entire thing was absolutely perfect timing.
Right. Exactly. And that's that's what's that's what is so ridiculous is that we were people, a lot of people had a lot of faith in him, but that's because he gets out there with his words, and it's like he wasn't following around a family across the United States and obsessing over this case and the Flora case too. And so uh, that's the things I've been asking. What is the obsession with law enforcement in Indiana and the Delphi case and the Flora case? There is a very
Oh, a
weird.
weird obsession. Yeah, it's
Mhm,
creepy.
it is. And like I've said, Robert Ives, whenever he turned in his resignation back right before, what was this, 2017, I think still, he said in an interview that he did not see the Flora case or the Delphi case being solved anytime soon. But if there was an arrest before his resignation, he would rescind it and he would see it through. Okay, that that tells people not only are they connected, I believe, um, but also that something very big was going on that with those cases. He had been there for like 30 some odd years, hadn't he? No, maybe more than that.
It's what are some of those creepy phrases like on my deathbed, or
Oh
like, do you
God.
remember some of them with it's
Yes.
like the
Um,
obsession, I mean,
oh my God. Yes. It's on his deathbed. The last thing he'll be thinking of is those girls. And then he tells Chelsea or Kelsey, and you. And then he says, oh gosh, remember, okay. It was in a murder sheet. I don't listen to murder sheet ever, but I have to these interviews with the people, like, the real people on there, like Doug. And okay, he said in there, they asked him something about what he was doing that day. Not only did he say it was Sunday when he first heard about it, which I find a little bit weird, but then they also said what happened, like the day that, the girls, I guess, were found dead. And they asked him how quickly did he get to Delphi, and he said as fast as my charger would get me there. Like, why would the superintendent of the entire state of Indiana haul ass to Delphi? What was the reason? It's this weird
on my
obsession.
deathbed.
Yeah, and then the rocks. They had the rocks or something on there. Who is it? Tobe had the picture of Bridge Guy there. They painted a mural on one thing. Today will be the day. Whenever you go into the police department, they're going. They're interviewing. They're going to CrimeCon. You got Jerry Holman. A couple of the others going to CrimeCon. Why?
For all these years too.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Yeah. Crime Con.
Yep, Doug Carter going on that little podcast with Kelsey. What about
Weird.
all the other kids who were murdered?
Yeah.
Aren't they
Even
upset?
on even for Doug to go to Dr. Phil. It's just
Hmm.
been like, you know,
That's been deleted too, hasn't it?
time after time after time after time after time.
Yeah, I'm interested in. Actually, that's one of the statistics or something I need to look into because I don't think that I have is the murders or the deaths of all the other children in Indiana. Why is there not an obsession about
All
any
those
of,
other kids.
yeah, not even one other case? It would be kind of like, okay, whatever, weird, but not even one other. It's just these two. It's if people really pay attention to the very odd things about this case. And that's also one of the things that I've wondered also is, I've mentioned, before in comments and stuff, like, that I felt like maybe there's some sort of like parallel investigation, which would make sense why they're, I
Hmm.
guess, covering up or why things aren't allowed, why there's certain no third party suspects, things like that. But,
And then all the weirdness with Kagan Klein is so
mhm,
fucking weird that they would leave him out in the world. Like,
yeah, yeah. He must have been an informant or something, because there was, you know, CSAM or whatever it's called that was on his devices in, I believe it was it February or March whenever his house or whatever it was. I can't remember. I believe it was March, and that stuff was found then in 2017. And also, it's weird. I was reading an article on that guy. That officer, the picture of the like Anthony Shots guy.
hmm
He said he was never notified that they were even doing that presser or anything and putting his picture out there. He had no idea that his picture was a part of the case for however long. At some point, he talked to them. I mean, I do know that. But I mean, as far as the presser, where they come out blasting his picture, he didn't even know they were doing that. And that was how long? When was that? Was that in 2020 or 2019?
I want to say
I can't.
19.
Was it
I
19?
don't.
Was it April 2019? I think it was. I have to remember. It's not a big deal. I just mean They came out with that, and Kegan Kline was still out on the streets. It's
Yeah,
weird.
this whole thing has been, the oddities are just mind numbing. And then, like, to have all of these people, I've made it explicitly clear. I'm not going to, you know, uh, I'm not going to try to say it in some sort of like sideways manner,
Mhm.
but it's, I, it's, I, it's completely obvious to me that this isn't uh, a massive PR campaign. Like,
It is.
some firm has been hired or two
Yeah.
to send out a bunch of people to keep this but on rails or whatever, in between the fucking lines or whatever is their objective to push.
Hmm.
And it's all the hallmarks of that. That's the
It
thing,
is.
is as you look at all of these people that you would, and all of these tactics, techniques, you would look at them as, oh, these are individuals, and you start to really look at it all. The simplest conclusion you can come to is there's a collective effort that somebody's paying for.
Yeah.
And the question is why, especially after all of this. Like, this has been the guy has been convicted, he's been sentenced. So
Hmm.
why? Why?
Right. Right. Yeah. It's right. I mean, exactly. There's all of the things that are going on in this case are not normal. Like, even with Free Karen, oh, the whole Free Karen Reed thing, her website was created after her conviction, or excuse me, not her conviction, her hung jury. That was afterward. We've heard lies about the website was created based on the Luigi Mangione thing and the Karen Reed thing. That, when I brought that up about the Luigi Mangione thing, that was deleted from Alive completely. And because that website was not created, it's like lies were, I guess, made up after the fact. It was not created um, before, so they couldn't have got inspiration from it because Rick Allen's website was created before. And then whenever I mentioned Luigi Mangione, that was deleted, and they didn't say that anymore. And then it went to Karen Reed. Karen Reed had not raised $1 million. Her website had only been out, I think it was, I'd have to look exactly again, but hers was created toward like the middle of the year. And I believe it was said that that was the inspiration then. And she had raised $1 million. It's not true. This website was created just a couple of months. It was like a couple of months, I believe, after Karen Reed's was that summer, and it had not even raised 500,000. So that was wrong information. But this is people who were doing this before. You know, it it's and it's people who I do not feel like truly care about Rick Allen. Um, I just don't. I disagree. I don't think that they do, and I believe that it is a lot of other people. I'm not talking about the ones on YouTube. I'm just talking about kind of in the periffs, like who shouldn't. It's making things look like it's a collection of people, and it's not. Kind of it's people. It's like just the YouTube accounts that nobody really knows. They're just making comments. Those aren't real people. A lot of them aren't. And I believe it's people or
Like, how could I
whoever.
have to block? This is, yeah, it's like to have to block 450 accounts, and there's still, everyone's still out there. So everyone's still out there, but I had to
Hmm.
block 450 accounts. Like, does that make any sense to anyone that this is a normal double homicide?
No, it's not. All of the things in it that seem kind and generous and good, it's it's an effort, and it is not just by everyday people. It's not. It's
Mm.
oh, it's already been said. It's a I don't know a collection or whatever of people doing transcripts after trial, each day for trial to get them up on the website. Who who does that? Like, if they're not getting paid, you know. Well, I know a lot of people would, but you know, it is just people just really need to pay attention. That's the issue. There's something bigger that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's your conclusion. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, well, for what I want to say, I think right now, yeah.
Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. It's some kind of PR, whatever. There's a ton of other things that I could say, but I don't want to just yet. But I don't want to be cryptic. I just want to have my ducks in a row before I say certain things. But yeah, my main thing is for people to pay attention and they can see this themselves, because I did. I think since what, maybe May.
Yeah, that's a good point. That because no one can really tell you. This is where I'm at. It's like I'm not really trying to push any sort of
Right.
thing here. I'm trying to explain to people you wanted the truth about Delphi. That's why you come and you watch channels about
Hmm.
Delphi. Well, hello. This is the truth about Delphi. It's the most you're going to get at this point on the open internet. I mean, unless you know one of the killers.
Right. Right. And it's, it's the things that are put out there give the appearance that there are individuals who have a relationship with the defense, and they do not. If something is not said out of the words of the appellate attorneys or Rick's trial defense attorneys, it is not the truth. And there's a lot of things that we hear that we are told were from Baldwin, or that things would appear that they have knowledge, intimate, knowledge about specific things within the case that are out there right now. That's not true. It's a lie based on what you said earlier about, what was it? Something about like $2,000 or something from the the fundraiser money or something like that. That's Those are different things that are put out there, like uh things like that. Unless you hear it from his attorneys, don't take it for a fact. And I think that that's kind of an issue. That's an issue for me, and I hope that people see that, because I'm like you. I don't go in comments or anything and try to be ugly or try to demand somebody or anybody believe anything I have to say. What I always try to encourage is for people to pay attention to the things they're seeing. If things seem too good to be true, they are, and to question things and not to feel silenced, because I feel like a lot of people have been silenced. They're not able to talk, or else they get attacked, or they get, you then become a target, and that's not what normal adults do.
Yeah, where are the adult conversations?
Hmm.
Right.
But that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to. I mean, you learn so much from people that that you disagree with, and imagine not having. I'm not trying to be offensive, but imagine not having the emotional intelligence to be able to have an adult conversation with somebody who has a very slightly different opinion than you.
Very slightly. And that's the thing that I've always, with the entire of them, you
Hmm.
know, it's like, why every time a point is made
Yeah.
or something is brought forward, why does it always resort to personal attacks? Like,
Right.
never really the issue, just straight up personal attacks.
Yeah.
Um,
Literally called names. I guess threatened at times.
mhm.
Right. That's not how normal healthy, sound adults conduct their lives. Like, not lives like in YouTube lives. I mean, in real life, that's not what people do. So the fact that that's happening in this case, where there are kids who were killed, and then adults act as if they have no tolerance for somebody asking a question. Um, and I think that statement's been made before, that people are asking questions that they already have the answers to. No, no, no. We don't have any answers, because hearing things from people who say they have contact with the defense is not answers,
That's not
and
an
it's not a
answer.
fact.
No.
Right. Exactly. And Baldwin's been out, and he's been out. I don't know if people are paying attention. He has never confirmed his um, connection with anybody who has said anything here on YouTube. He even went on um, uh, Andy Cobbs's live. He literally, all he said was, "I heard the transcripts are starting to come out." That is not confirmation that he did anything with anybody. So that should tell people a lot. Why was he not singing these people's praises for the great things that they've done for him, if he had a relationship with them, if he had given them the go ahead, or if he had given them permission to do anything? People just pay attention, because what they're not saying, or what he's not saying, says a lot.
Yeah. And I guess the funny thing is, I don't know if people think that everything on the surface is all that is. It's like, I'm not gonna tell you everybody I'm talking to. I'm not gonna. Do you honest? Does everyone in the sound of my voice actually believe that I'm gonna come out here and tell you everyone I'm talking to?
Right.
I guarantee you I'm not, because there are people I'm talking to and have talked to who help inform me so that I can build an accurate perspective and stand on something. And so I don't have the need to tell you who I'm talking to. But if I come out assertive and confident in what I'm saying, because I know the facts, it might be because I'm talking to a handful of people that would have knowledge. And so I think that's something people need to keep in mind too. Like, I think you have a good point that people need to see for themselves, because like
Right.
you would not believe it unless you would see it for yourself. And that's my message to everybody, I guess, is yeah, just try to see. Well, you said it best, I guess. Try to see for yourself.
Right. Exactly. And there's I know that there's a lot of people who um, know things, or they want to share things, and they feel like they can't, and then a lot of people, you know it's I know that there's other, I see people's comments and stuff, and a lot of people have some really a lot of things, that are interesting. And it's unfortunate that people don't feel comfortable to share a lot of these things, especially publicly, which, like you said, if there's people that you talk to that, that communicate things, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with uh, concern for being attacked, if they were known, and two, and I just kind of wanted to put out there, I know I had somebody ask me about, I don't know if they're listening, but I had somebody ask me about, would I be interested in talking? And I think I just want to make it clear that if anybody that has any kind of communication with Michael Osbrook, I do not want to talk to. I just kind of want to make that clear. So, because I don't, and I don't have any, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Michael Osbrook. I just, I don't, I don't trust him. And I know a lot of people do, and that's okay. But I don't. So anyway, but that's kind of beside the point. But and because I want people to know the stuff like that. But it's important to do your homework before you just go, not you, but anybody go just blasting stuff. So that's the only reason I haven't just come on. Plus, I don't have a big channel. I don't. I mean, I'm not a YouTuber, But there's a ton of stuff that might help open people's eyes. But I think I think the best thing to do is to, and the same like you do, to do your homework first and get your ducks in a row before. And that's how I feel like I need to do before I
Hmm.
show it to anybody, or until I don't know, because I'm not a real YouTuber. I've only made a few videos, and I would like to do more, but I'm not really good at it. So, but yeah, so hopefully more people will see things, and I hope that more people will become more open to working together, because that is the only way to get eyes on this case and to get, hopefully, Rick Allen the help that he needs, and also find the people or the person or persons who actually committed this crime. It is imperative to work together and not hate each other, and not, make people the enemy if they don't think that Rick Allen is innocent 100% across the board. That doesn't matter. We all kind of have the same goal, I believe. So,
Well, all I've seen is,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You've seen what now?
I don't know, just like limiting
Hmm.
or ostracizing or shrinking the community and causing chaos. How does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
we're
that's
supposed to
goal.
be like, if you believe in this, you you try to be forthright, as honest as possible. Don't lie. Don't do shady ass shit behind the scenes,
Hmm.
and then gather as many people as you can together. Um,
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to have, you just have to have the same common goal. You know, it nobody. I mean, nobody has the same uh, opinions and beliefs and as everybody else. And you know what? Like, we all manage in our real lives to get along with other people. We don't have to know their opinions and beliefs on absolutely everything.
every
Go
single
thing.
thing.
Right. And the same with this one. It's like we can feel differently about a lot of different things, but we could still recognize that this is a really fucked up case. And Rick Allen has got the blunt, or I mean, he's got the short end of the stick. I feel really bad about him. I get really sad if I even kind of go there. I feel bad for what's been done. And it upsets me that people, that people don't see that if we are not calling out law enforcement, if we're not calling out all of the things that happen, these things that they did are wrong, and they should have been reprimanded, or there should have been consequences, repercussions. There should have been something happen. And instead, we see people getting promotions, going to crime con. There should be outrage about those things.
I mean, I just keep coming back to, there should be outrage on anybody in their right mind.
Hmm.
Watch that post sentencing press conference.
Right.
They should have all walked away with outrage
Hmm.
and saying, "What in the world is going on with the Delphi case?"
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
I'm like, "What feds? Excuse me, feds.
Hmm. Yeah.
Feds, are you watching this?"
Yeah, I know. That's the thing, though. Like, the only way that things like this will there's a change is if there is public outcry or public outrage over these things. And right now, sure, there's like a little community here on YouTube, and but you don't you're not hearing about people blasting, just angry about this man marched around on a leash, the torture and the abuse. You're not hearing that because there is not a big enough community that can come together. It is these, like, community, it's one community that's broken apart, that's at odds with each other. But I don't have odds with anybody. It's just that's what they want, and I don't. I hope people see whenever they see these kind of things, and they, and they see these kind of behaviors, and the thing they have to be able to recognize it. And you or I or anybody, we can't force them to see it, and you have
No,
to kind of come to that realization on your own.
and I'm sure your appearance tonight, which I'm really grateful for that people get to know you, but I'm sure um, it's gonna engender you and me a lot of harassment and bitching. But
Yeah,
I don't know. You said what you spoke your mind and said what's on your mind,
yeah.
and
I would, yeah.
this
There's a
is what
lot
I
to get.
want is more people from our little chat
Hmm.
community and viewership and even strangers. You know how many times, honestly, Christina, I've opened the door just like this link is still posted at the top of the chat.
Hmm.
At least 15 times in the past 2 years, I've opened the door for people to come in, any side,
Right.
anybody, and come and talk civilly. And no one ever does. Very few, Jake Brooks will come, and poor
Yeah.
Cosmo used to come. You've come
Yeah.
now, but very few ever come talk. And I just want more to come.
I wish some of them would come back, which I know that Cosmo passed, and but I remember Jake Brooks. I really enjoyed hearing him talk. I really liked hearing him talk. There's a few that that I wish would come back because or to be on to talk or whatever. That I thought they had really good like input, and yeah, hopefully other people will speak out speak out more and start to see a little bit of what's going on, and hopefully still be able to be one, hopefully one united. I'm not talking, not everybody doesn't have to be besties, but just still have one common goal and not to let us be divided. And I hope that more people are willing to speak out and to, I guess, share their thoughts and opinions. But I just can't.
Awesome.
I just came on to say hi because I would have. It's been a long time ago that I said I would have, but I don't know if you've done a live since then. So I just figured,
I haven't been doing many, but
yeah,
thank you so much, Christina.
yeah, no problem. Um, I'll get going for now, and then I'll just thanks for letting me come on, and
All right. Thanks for
I'll
coming. And
see
everyone
y'all
say
later.
thank you, please.
Thanks, Prom.
And come
Bye.
back. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.